Hey everyone, hey wellness crew, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm excited about it. Today is all about, again, just connecting with the community, connecting with you guys, whatever questions you have. Um, I am a wellness coach. I currently am not taking on any clients. I'm waiting because I want to go ahead and get certified as a life coach. So I'm going to be doing that first. But I was working as a wellness coach, and my background is a lot of coaching, right? So at 19 years old, I was a yoga coach. Um, I got my certification in personal training. I got my certification in health coaching. I got my certification in CrossFit coaching. And if you've ever worked in the industry of personal training or anything like that, you learn that you oftentimes become a therapist for your clients. You oftentimes, end up becoming the person that they kind of rely on and kind of vent to, because in the act of working out, in the act of getting, stuff off of their bodies and the energy sense, right? They're also getting stuff off of their minds. They're talking to you, telling you about their problems, telling you about what's going on with their lives. So becoming a wellness coach was kind of something that I was like, oh, interesting. Hey, nice to see you. I'm glad you had a great day. That's awesome. Yeah, it's always good when you have a good day. So I had a good day as well. I had my sonogram and couldn't really get a read on if it was good or bad. Energetically, I felt like it was probably fine. So I think really the big thing we're going to find out tomorrow when I have my doctor's appointment is we're going to see what um, the blood result really was. So basically, there's a thank you. Yeah, yeah. So basically, what happened with me was, and this was unexpected, and I didn't expect this to even happen or see this coming. There, um, prolactin was high in my bloodstream, and that's something that's usually typically high in mothers that are, breastfeeding and stuff like that. Well, my son's 4 years old, so I'm far past that. So that's a little concerning, and that's something that's released by the pituitary gland. So what it could be is a benign tumor. Worst case scenario. So that can be treated with medication. Worst case scenario with that is it could be surgery required. They just go in through your nose and mess around with that. So nothing serious, nothing crazy. So really, worst case scenario, nothing crazy, nothing serious. At least from my perspective. So I mean, I've had 2 C-sections, so those were crazy. They have to take out your organs to get the baby out. So you just kind of have to roll with the punches and not get too worked up about things like this, right? Even though when you have health concerns and when you have something going on that you're not sure about, it's always best to try to stay calm, right? Just try to stay calm and chill. Not get too worked up. Um, but yeah, so this live stream is about what's going on with y'all, what's going on in your world, what questions you may have for me, what may be going on with y'all, basically. So this is your time to ask me any questions that you may have. If you have any concerns with what's going on with you guys, if you want, to ask a coach a question, this is what this is for. I'm drinking my tea. Definitely was tired. So earlier, I had my sour apple or my sour green apple energy drink. Gosh, what's it called? Oh, Ghost. So I was very, very lit up, highly caffeinated, and then I crashed, took a nap. And this evening, I'm a secret nerd. So, oh, thank you, Kat. So I'm gonna play Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. You know what, Wolf? I kind of am too, to be honest with you, a little bit. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate y'all. So I haven't been working out like I typically do. Hi, Christopher. Hi. So I've been doing shorter workouts. The one thing that I really did enjoy about my channel in the earlier days was I was forced, right, to stay active, and but again, I had that perfectionistic mentality, and I wasn't being very honest and truthful. And when I say that, this is what I mean. So my physique looked great, but I was starving myself to do it, and I was working out all the time, like constantly. So it wasn't a very healthy way to achieve the physique and that other people wanted to have. And when I look back on those videos and I see that these videos are being, watched a lot, I feel bad, you know. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. It's, some of this though, the way that I appear is due to stress. So it's kind of like, well, it's a give and take. Um, but I haven't, I have invested in some equipment and things like that work, and I do always encourage people to do resistance training when you're building muscle. What does that do? You are going to have a more compact physique. If you're trying to bulk up, obviously yes, you can build a lot of muscle and you can bulk up, but for women especially, if you want to burn more fat, burn more calories, having muscle is going to be the way to do that. And it's also great as you're aging, right? Because I'm 37 years old. So as you're aging, you want to have more muscle. So you want to do resistance training. It is not going to bulk you up. Or if you're really afraid of doing a lot of resistance training, do something along the lines of Pilates, where it is lengthening your muscles, giving you the appearance more of like a dancer. So that's what you can do. But yeah, so what I am doing is I love Evodux candles, and so this one is for healing. And they all come with a little card, right? And the little card kind of has like a manifestation thing with it, which I think is kind of cute. But this one, it says, I allow restorative power to flow through me. And they come with like little rocks and a little charm. What I do with these is on our property, we have some woods in the back, and I do rock art out there. And it's a lot of fun. And I just kind of drip candle wax and mix, different modes and stuff with that. So kind of like a prisoner. I like that. Oh, this I'm just wearing because it's my grandma's. Yeah, I just found it in her stuff today, and it's so weird because she actually called me right before this live stream. So I just put it on. Yeah, it is a little bit too big for me. Her hands are a lot bigger than mine. So, but she suffers with arthritis. So, but yeah, that's why I'm wearing it. Jason, living in an apartment, why does that stop you from using candles? Just curious. Like a person. Yeah, that's funny. Well, when you have the time, right? You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. You can read or you can work out. So that's kind of what you have. um, but yeah, so I like to do that. Me and my little boy, we did this. So I got into saging recently, and basically what we did is we used some of the Evodut candles and we dripped the candle wax. I did that part, of course, because only 4. And I also did the saging part, but he watched and was very interested in all the different colors and things like that. And he would select which ones that we would use and all that. So but now of course there's so much wax in it, I can't use it for saging. So uh now we're using this for the ashes for saging. Or I shouldn't say we, I am. But hi, Kona. This is a live stream. This is just for y'all. For if y'all have any questions, ask a coach, anything about your lives or anything you just want to ask regarding wellness coaching. That's what I'm here for today. Going to be here Probably until 3:45 my time. So that would be about 54 more minutes. Oh yeah, no, of course, of course. I actually have had family members that have been locked up, so um, it's truly true. It's you have the time to either get educated or to get fit. So that's kind of what happens, right? You just make those choices. What choices are you gonna make? And don't drop the soap. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like to make jokes too, so but I probably shouldn't make jokes. I'll probably get canceled. Such is life. um, but yeah, so when it comes to wanting to heal, or when it comes to trying to, be more positive about things, or when it comes to trying to find things to focus on, right? So, what do I do? What I tend to do, I really try to curate and be careful with what I allow to come into contact with me. So a lot of stuff I don't really watch or pay attention to. Okay. I don't watch the news very often, um, simply because there's just so much discourse, and it seems to me truly like with all of the news, it's really made more for entertainment purposes than for anything else. It's meant to incite a lot of anger and a lot of feelings, and so I kind of stay out of all that stuff. I like my happy spot in the woods. I like live streaming. I like trying to help people get through tough times. I've really lived a very interesting life and had a lot of interesting things happen. Some that were positive, some that were negative, some that were a little bit of both. Some that you would rightfully so judge. And so sometimes I don't feel like talking about it. And sometimes I will talk about it. It just depends on what the community wants to talk about, what live chat, has going on. So, John, that's a great question. What music do I listen to relax? It's really interesting. So, recently I started to get onto TikTok and just, randomly post stuff. I started doing some lives, but not like a lot of them. I'm trying to grow my female audience. So I like to listen to Nine Inch Nails and Deftones to relax. I find Deftones to be really chill music for me personally, especially the album Saturday Night Wrist. But that's just me. Um, like I said earlier, I'm 37 years old, so I like a little bit older music. I also really like, which is still a little bit before my time, I like Fleetwood Mac a lot. Um, hmm. And then I like, oftentimes there will be a song that I'll just get fixated on and I'll listen to over and over and over again. So Golden Years by David Bowie is something that I'll just listen to on repeat. And the reason that I brought up TikTok is there's this artist. I'll say he's an artist. His name is Bryce Savage. And I truly feel as though he stole the passcode to my phone, read all my texts, and then came up with his albums. And I'm like, bro, please stop reading my texts. But he has an album called Book Talk. And I found it on Apple Music. And that's been the vibe recently. It just kind of distracts me from everything that's kind of happening with me health wise. And, or it doesn't distract me. So, sorry, I had a phone call. So if it throws off the live, I apologize. 80s heavy metal. Yeah, that's a good one. Dana, okay, that's wonderful. That the Google phone number actually no longer works. So it's really best to email me and we can go from there. For sure. For sure. Um, at the moment though, I'm actually not taking on clients because I'm getting certified in life coaching officially. And then I will be getting liability insurance because I just don't want to be sued. Oh, let me turn this light on. I just don't want to be sued. So just, for safety reasons, and just also to give a better experience to my clients, and to coaching people in general. And that's exactly why I do these live streams. So that way everybody can kind of benefit from that experience. You're absolutely welcome. Yeah. So that way everybody can get like a little bit of it, a little, if you have any questions, anything like that. I understand not wanting to go too personal in these live streams. 100%. I get that. I totally get it. So you don't have to, but you can email me. I'm more than happy to go back and forth with you on email, no charge at all. Okay. So by all means. Sips tea. So today I got a whiteboard. I went to our local grocery store, which is HEB. I live in Texas. And hopefully this isn't going to be mirrored back to you guys. Oh, of course, the reflection's going to hit. Maybe it might be mirrored to you guys, so I apologize. But basically, I wanted to write down stuff that I talk about a lot so I don't have to constantly repeat myself. So our three resources, right, is time, energy, and money. Okay? Those are the things that we have that we can invest and spend, and that you want to think of as money. Now, we actually have more resources than that. There was a book that I was reading, but I had to return it to the library. I'm going to go and look into purchasing it. And it's The Five Types of Wealth by Sahil, and I don't remember his last name. But The Five Types of Wealth, I would definitely look into that book and look into reading it because it's really interesting. Thank you, Jeff. That's awesome, Dana. Fantastic. Awesome. If you so Trent Reznor, if his older stuff is a little more dark, if you listen to some of his newer stuff, or well, newer is relative. He has a song called Discipline that's really good. But back in 1999, he had a song called The Fragile and an album called The Fragile. And then when I was 18, that was my second tattoo, because my first tattoo I got when I was 15 years old, actually. So the lyrics are: she shines in a world full of ugliness. She matters when everything is meaningless, fragile. She doesn't see her beauty. She tries to run away. Sometimes it's just like nothing seems receiving. I won't let her slip away or fall apart or something. Anyways, so yeah, in the past, I definitely did have a storm and a lot of negativity and a lot of cruelty and harshness towards myself. I dealt with an eating disorder, um, depression, a lot of things along those lines. So that's why I find myself in my experiences. I'm in a very unique position to be able to help others that are going through those experiences. Um, just because I'm in pink, doesn't mean that I haven't, been through difficult times. I definitely have been. I'm 37 years old, and I've had a lot of different types of experiences in my life. I've lived a different type of life, lives actually, a lot of different eras. So yeah, that's what I. Not all of his music is dark. You know, he's been through different stages in his life as well, and his music has changed throughout the time. Yes, random user, I am. Oh, there's a Trent on here. That's crazy. Oh, okay, random user. Well, that's great. I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm just saying that at 37, I've had a lot of experience. I'm sorry, guys. I keep getting a lot of scam calls, so I have to keep on like. The one religious song I can think of from my childhood is by Jackie Velasquez. No, actually, I can think of two. One of them is Jesus Freak by DC Talk. And then Jackie Velasquez, I Will Rest in You. So I can think of two of them. Mhm. Nicholas, I think that human touch is really fantastic for everybody. Yeah. No, Blaster, you may not have a boyfriend. Hi, Amet. I'm good. So yeah, so when it comes to thinking about, things in your life that are going on, or things that you maybe don't want to talk about, or things you want to push away, right? There's often times that we want to avoid, instead of kind of facing things head on. And I completely understand that. And that's a lot of the reason why I went through a lot of the harder experiences that I had in my life. There were things that I wanted to avoid, there were things that I didn't want to go through or experience or face. There were things I wanted to ignore. But instead, I just buried them deeper and deeper and deeper. And they built up, and I acted out in different ways. And it was very painful, not only for me, but for the people around me that loved me and were trying to support me and didn't know what to do to help me. So by doing inner work and by really trying to actually, help myself, it was like, oh, okay, there's healing that can happen, right? And so now what's happening is I'm just kind of working on trying to heal my body and trying to understand kind of what's been going on for the last year and a half. And my understanding is that I was dealing with an infection because an antibiotic really helped me significantly improve my clarity in general. And it was crazy. It was a switch. It was like a real fast switch. So hi Ed. I do yoga and Pilates. Yeah. Okay. Well, you do not have to be on this live stream. If I'm triggering you in any capacity, I apologize. You don't have to be on this live stream. You can choose to watch somebody else. Okay? That's a choice that you're making. Hi, Caleb. Right? We have to take responsibility for our choices. We all make choices. We have to take responsibility for them. Scent therapy. So with candles, the big one for me that works very well is rose and lavender. Lavender, lavender, lavender. I cannot speak enough about lavender. It's very, very helpful for me. Thank you so much. I don't know what that says though. What does that say? Let's say corn, 999. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. The live chat broke on my end. Oh, I don't have any cats. So doesn't uh concern me personally, but if you have cats or and anything, then I do apologize. Rose is great though. Hi, Goal. Welcome. So yeah, and oftentimes, if I'm not going to use scent therapy, actually, recently, what I did do is I got shower steamers, right? So, in my room, I don't have a bathtub, but I have a stand up shower, and I mean it's a large stand up shower, but not a bathtub. So I got these shower steamers, which is kind of like a bath bomb, but for a shower, and it came in rose, came in lavender, came in tea tree, came in a whole bunch of different types of scents. I'm good, girl. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. And that to me it's really relaxing, really nice. I don't use them every single day or anything like that, but I think scent therapy is a really good way to kind of chill out and relax. As you can see, I am still incredibly caffeinated from earlier. Even though I crashed, it's like I came back to life. Ghost, zero sugar, even zero sugar, man. That stuff is crazy. Aw, that's very sweet. So yeah, so I'm a big tea drinker. My boyfriend was like, I don't drink coffee. I was like, what? You're talking to someone who used to be a former Starbucks addict until they looked at their budget and was like, yeah, that's a problem. So now I just drink coffee at home. Um, but I didn't realize how much coffee I was consuming. So I started to slow down. And hello, Platinum. I'm not wifey though. And I yeah, so drinking tea has been really helpful. Yes, I do drink tea that is caffeinated sometimes, but I also drink tea that is non-caffeinated. So stuff like chamomile, lemon, peppermint. It'll be like a combo of that. A lot of turmeric. So I do have an autoimmune condition. Not specifically sure exactly which one. For the longest time, I was pretty positive it was lupus. But no, that was a negative. But my ANA always pops. So we're still on a journey with that. So we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on going with that journey and find out. I am a vapor, yes, but I've slowed down significantly on that as well. Like I said, I used to suffer with major depression. One of the medications that I used to take was Wellbutrin, and it's supposed to kind of help curb your smoking, and it didn't for me. But I now take Auvelity. It's not a medication that I can actually afford. It's incredibly expensive, but it is something that I am provided with my doctor from. My doctor provides it to me via samples, um, and basically it's a mix of Wellbutrin and a cough suppressant. So it's been incredibly helpful. So anybody that suffers with major depression, if that's an option that you can look into, maybe consider looking into it. Um, the other thing that helped me a lot was last year I did ketamine therapy using Spravato. The only reason that I was able to do that was because I met my insurance deductible. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I can go wild now. So, yeah, I found that to be helpful. I was able to kind of see things from a outside perspective, and I just found it to be helpful for myself. So, thank you, Caleb. Pat O'Brien, I'm not sure what that is. I haven't heard of that before. But I try not to, WebMD or Google or ChatGPT new diagnosis for myself simply because I don't want to put that into my headspace. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, and be a hypochondriac, or oh my gosh, and start to, get. I just don't want to have that energy about me, starting to think about and trying to self-diagnose. I trust my doctors. For better or for worse, right? I will say that I did use ChatGPT to try to understand why Bactrim seemed to help me, and specifically with the pain that I was having in my lower right abdominal. And yeah, so that's kind of the only thing that I did do. Yeah, it this is my personal opinion, and again, I'm not a doctor. I am not licensed in any capacity. Do not sue me. What I will say is I am for entertainment purposes only because I really don't want to get sued. And I think a lot of people that consider themselves to be influencers and all that kind of stuff, they need to be a lot more careful with what they're saying. Um, Authenticity is what's needed, right? We need people that are more honest about their habits, that are more honest about their vices. Um, you don't need to hide in a bathroom or, hide and not show other people what you actually do in real life. That's why I'm very honest about if I'm working out right now. I'm very honest about what I'm doing, what I'm saying, and I wasn't for a while, right? I wasn't being authentic to my subscribers. I wasn't being authentic to myself either. And that's something that I'm working actively to change because I really have no one to impress. Okay. The idea of cult of wellness was a joke, right? Like the brand name cult of wellness is a joke. Um, because I just felt as though people were striving too much for perfection. People were getting too obsessive about it. Coming especially from the fitness world and seeing that people were spending hours upon hours upon hours in the gym striving for this idea of something in a magazine that is photoshopped, filtered, unattainable. Even me right now, right? So let's turn off the ring lights so you can see what I actually look like in natural light. Okay. I wish I would have done this without makeup on as well. Cardi, you have a question. What is your question? I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm having to look down at my iPad to see. And no, this poster is not for sale. I got it at a thrift shop for only $12, but it means a lot to me. It signifies something that's really, really personal, so I'm not going to go into it. So it's funny that you say that, John, because when I was in, I think it was fifth grade. So this is back in the days of payphones, right? I was in fifth grade, and there was this little boy, and he comes up to me, and he's from a different school because there was a whole bunch of different schools that went to the municipal auditorium. And he goes, "Excuse me, do you have 25 cents?" I was like, "I don't have a quarter on me, no." And he's like, "Well, my mama told me that I had to call her when I saw an angel." And I was like, but to be in fifth grade and to already have a line like that, I'm like, fathers, lock your daughters up. This kid has game in the fifth grade, you know? Thinking back on it now, right? It's like, ooh, that's a killer right there. Emily. Emily. My real name isn't even Jenna. So I'm using a pseudonym. That's funny though. I'll pray for you. All right, how's this candle doing? So what I like about Evita candles is that they have like little charms in them. So when I use them for rock art and things like that, sometimes the charms will fall out as I pour out the candle wax, and it looks really pretty on the rocks. So, but I'm not going to use this one for rock art today. Forever a slacker. So, I believe that if you find something that is helping you with pain, by all means, I personally no longer partake in it. I am sober, with the exception, obviously, of taking pharmaceuticals. But other than that, if y'all, partake in stuff recreationally or whatever, by all means. you know, I have in the past, so I don't judge. If you find something that helps you and you feel like it helps you, that's great. I have just found personally that I'm a lot more clear when I'm not using. So, hi Joseph. Well, it depends. So I don't consider marijuana to be a drug. I actually consider it to be a medication. Same thing with ketamine. I consider it to be a medication. Same thing with mushrooms. I consider that to be medicinal. Uh, so really, I've been clean for golly over 10 years. Yeah. Hi, Holden. Hi. Oh yeah. So our three resources that we have, right? So we have time, we have our energy, and we have money. And it's up to us how we choose to invest those resources. It's up to us how we choose to invest our time, our energy, and our money. The one thing we really can't get back, though, is our time. So choose wisely. I am not single. No, I have a boyfriend. Mhm. I'm here to talk about whatever the community wants to talk about for the most part. However, I do have boundaries, and there's some things that if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to talk about it. So, bye. It's an interesting thing to use YouTube as a dating site. Jeff, as I said, I am able to talk about what the community does want to talk about. However, I have my boundaries. So I'm not going to just talk about anything, right? Everyone should have boundaries. Everybody should be able to say no to things. I'm not a say yes to everything type of person because I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I spent too many years being a people pleaser. Yeah, John, that's a very good right. That's how you stay safe. Forever a slacker. So I actually have videos on guided meditation. If you want to go back into my archives and watch those, they're called Meditation with Jenna. So yeah, they're guided meditations. So it kind of teaches you how to learn how to meditate, and then from there you can do it on your own. They're a great stepping stone to learn how to meditate on your own. Yeah, I would go back to the really old ones though. Yeah, you can kind of see the progression where I'm starting off and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And then they start to kind of progressively get better. So, absolutely. You're welcome. I find that to be very common though. A lot of people don't really read the description of my channel or they just have a lot of questions, right? A lot of times when you're doing a vertical live stream, it's people are just scrolling, you know? So they have a lot of questions. So John, what I will say regarding that is, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, but I don't really associate with any religion. I do not call myself a Christian. Um, yeah. A little bit too alternative for them. And I think that the whole point in general should be that if you believe in Jesus, that you want to bring people towards Christ and not bring people away from him. So if you're ultra judgmental, if you're also ultra alternative, right, that might put a taste in people's mouths as well. So because I'm a little bit more alternative, I do not like to say that I'm a Christian. I wouldn't want to take people away from Christ. So yeah. But yeah, so everyone has different beliefs and different things that they think. And hi, Dylan. Um, no comment on that. Yeah, I'm not going to. I believe in being discerning, but I don't believe in being judgmental on different faiths and different religions. I have a wild idea on what to do in order to level the playing field a little bit and to take away the power from some of these churches that aren't churches. um, but the last time that I talked about it, someone got really upset. So I don't want to upset anybody. I want this to be a safe space for everybody. So, but yeah. Hi, Dylan. So yeah. All right. So we have about 20 minutes left. So if anybody has any questions, as far as like coaching goes, right? So not maybe so much about my opinions on things, but that are, about like life, but maybe regarding your life, right? If you have any questions regarding if you need help with something, or if you find yourself blocked in some way, or if you're going through an experience and you want some help with it, I think that would be a really great use of time for the last 20 minutes. Thank you so much, Dawn. That's very kind of you. Thank you. So yeah, there's just a lot of different things that can happen. I'm gonna turn on the lights a little bit. Just gonna turn on one. Ugh, there we go. Just there's a little bit of brightness. I love lights. I've also talked about this a little bit. I like being out in the sun, but I'm very careful about it only because skin cancer runs in my family significantly, and well, a lot of different types of cancers run in my family. So there's a lot of things I'm careful with, um, and also things I'm not careful with, right? So I think it all really depends on what you allow yourself to believe, right? The stories that we're telling ourselves, the narratives that we're leading, the things that we're choosing to believe, right? It's not only about the choices that we're making, but the things that we're allowing ourselves to believe, the thoughts that we're allowing ourselves to have continually and over and over and over again. Because that's really going to be what your body responds to, what you're putting into your body as far as thoughts go, and what you're telling your mind, what you're telling your subconscious. That's why I'm so careful with what I consume content-wise. That's why I'm so careful with what I consume these days, with even like TV, movies. What I will say is one of my favorite TV shows is The Boys, their scam phone call. Um, and I will be watching the final season. It is very it's a show. Very violent, very much, not something that I typically like, but I'm a very big fan of humor. And I like superhero shows, and I like the idea of there being this idea of an authentic superhero show. What would it actually be like if there were real superheroes on this planet? And I think The Boys does a really good job of that. So that I think it comes back next month. I probably won't watch it until it's all out, and then I'll take some time to maybe binge watch it and then be done with it. So that way it's just, in my consciousness for a little bit and then kind of get it out and then move on. That's kind of what I like to do. The one thing I like about Netflix is that you can binge and then be done. So there you go, Philemon. There you go. Yeah. To each their own, right? I enjoy entertainment as much as anybody else, but again, I just am a little bit more careful these days to be very curated about it. But everybody has their vice. Entertainment for me is one of them. I'm just a little bit more careful these days about what I watch. But The Boys has me hooked, so I really want to watch it. I'm going to watch it, and yeah, I'm interested in human stories. I'm interested in good writers. Um, Amazon has really good writers right now. So, but yeah. All right, we have about 15 minutes left. So, if there's any questions, anything like that, this is the time, y'all. I currently do not have any pets. I do not. No. Uh-uh. Both of my children do though. Yeah. But I don't have any that are mine. Favorite song ever? The Fragile by 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, the reason for this tattoo. Oh, I'm not a cult leader. What do I do for work? Well, I was working as a wellness coach. I create content on various platforms. I took a break and was camming. I'll just be 100% honest with you guys about that, and found it to be soul sucking and horrifying. And so I stopped doing that. Came back to YouTube, where I wanted to just get away from it, get away from it all. And yeah, so yeah, I believe in being authentic and honest about it. So I talk about it on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. It's at Call Her Jenna. So yeah, uh, the beginning of my TikTok channel is talking a little bit about that, and then it evolves to other stuff. So. Mhm. Philemon, I had no idea who he was actually. I just saw this print and two of his other ones at a thrift store. Let me move my resources, my whiteboard. Um, I just saw it at a thrift store and it spoke to me. There was two other prints that were there as well. and I should have purchased them. I should have. My boyfriend told me, he was like, just get them. If you like them, just get them. Um, I should have, because they sold like that. I went back to go get the other two and they were gone. So I'm a fan now of their work, but um, yeah, I just think it's so beautiful, very interesting, and it's something that I manifest for a couple of people in my life. So I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm actually from Texas. I've always lived in Texas my whole life. Isn't job a rolling paper? What does that mean? I'm curious. Isn't job a rolling paper? Yes. Or I think someone actually said it was a cigarette brand or something. I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Oh, it's a rolling paper? Yeah, someone said it was a cigarette, but I don't know. I just like to get stuff that I find aesthetically pleasing. I don't really do a lot of Googling. I don't like my algorithm to be figured out. So typically, what tends to happen is I'll have my friends and my family look into stuff for me, Google things for me. I'm a little paranoid about my algorithm. So Instagram has me figured out, though. It's a little scary. So, okay, John, thank you so much. Oh, I'm not married. I have a boyfriend. His nickname is Daddy, just because he's not really on social media or anything like that, and he's doing very well. Um, Working, getting really. He's very busy. So yeah, I'll be calling him as soon as I get off of this live stream. I think he should be at the gym, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I have a boyfriend. Hmm. Hello. Hi. I'll tell him, Mr. International. That's a great question. So, I meditate. I also do take medication for it as well. But I have found that when I meditate and when I stay busy, when I'm doing things like working on rock art or doing these live streams, right? Being able to kind of talk with the community, when I stay active with my friend group, when I'm doing things that are helping others, when I'm helping my family and my parents, and when I'm staying active, doing things with my children, and co-parenting, and yeah, when I stay active as much as I can, it's hard to initially, right? When you're dealing with anxiety and depression, it's like, wait, what do you mean you're able to stay active? What are you talking about? Um, you have to treat it first, and then you can start to kind of deal, right? Um, it's not easy at first. You kind of have to get into the motions. Philemon, I don't know who they are. I just liked the art. Yeah, I just liked it. So I don't know who they are. Absolutely. Thank you so much. But I also find that, I'm a big fan of human design and the gene keys. So it's kind of like a personal development and spiritual. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. So my live chat on my iPad versus on the phone, they're not syncing up. So Sorry, I'm not seeing the same things. I'm having to kind of go like this. I don't have my glasses on. So with the gene keys in human design, Richard Rudd talks a lot about contemplating. So what does that mean? It's kind of like just another way of saying meditating, to be honest with you. It's just taking the time to think about things. That's what contemplating is, right? Just kind of thinking about things. So thinking about things in a calm way, in a calm space, not ruminating about things, not overthinking about things, but just kind of contemplating on them. Just like when you're meditating, right? So when you're meditating, it's not about the absence of thoughts. It's about allowing thoughts to come up, acknowledging them, and then just kind of letting them go. It's not that easy, especially when you're first starting to meditate. It's not that easy. But the noise that we all tend to have, right? It kind of tends to go away with practice. With deep breathing, especially too, right? In through your nose, out through your mouth. You do that 3 times. It's just going to send a signal. I believe it's to your. I'm not even going to use technical terms because there's no point. I'm just going to use layman's terms. It's just going to send a signal to your body to relax, to chill out. The longer you do it, the better. Am I explaining biofeedback? I'm not intending to, but it could be that. There's a lot of different words, a lot of different terminology. We're all kind of talking about the same thing, right? As far as using AI, that's your prerogative if you want to. uh, so, um, what I have found when you are having an upset stomach or you're having blockages in your stomach, I started to study Reiki and learning about the chakra system and learning about blockages in the chakra system. And I have found that with that, that has helped me more with that particular problem than anything else, actually. So, no, you may not. Oh, thank you. Welcome from Iowa. Okay, John. Good to know. Yeah, I wasn't actually referring to your comment about the AI. That was somebody else's comment about the AI. I do get hiccups sometimes, yes. Doing Reiki, no. Mm-mm. All right, guys, we have about 5 minutes left. I know it's hard to talk about ourselves. I know it's hard to kind of acknowledge if we have problems or anything going on, but I have not done biofeedback. But you bringing it up is making me very interested, and I really want to look into it now. I don't think so. I don't think that's something that I want to do. Christopher, hello, brother. Okay, so I find out tomorrow. Tomorrow's my doctor's appointment. Oh, I'm so blessed that you're here. Tomorrow is my doctor's appointment. I will get the feedback and the information on my blood test and the sonogram / ultrasound that I had today. So tomorrow's the day. So I do plan on going live just for a little bit, just to kind of talk about that tomorrow, to kind of share that. And yeah, God is good. God is so good. He really is. So I'm feeling a lot better. Things are going really well. My life has just changed tremendously, and it really changed when I started tithing, and it changed when I started going back to church. So, yeah. But yeah. Mhm. That's just what I found to be helpful and soothing to me personally. Again, I'm not going to push my faith or my religion onto anybody else, and that's only because I don't think that it helps to um, take people away from Christ, right? If you don't think that I'm a good representation of a Christian or anything like that, that's why I don't claim to be one, then I don't want to take anyone away from Christ. If anything, I just want people to go towards him. So, hi. Hi, Warrior. Hi, Digger. Thank you, Digger. That's very kind of you. Hi, Scott. And I think everyone should have their choice and their freedom to choose what they want to believe and choose, whatever faith they feel is best for them. Or, um, and I think that there's a lot of people that have gotten turned off by religion for a lot of various reasons. I have someone very close to me who told me some really horrific stories. I don't have their permission though to really talk about it, but all I'll say is that they told me some really horrific stories, and I understand why they feel the way that they feel and why they won't go back. And I don't try to pressure them into it. I respect their, you know, lack of wanting to believe, because quite honestly, when we're putting extra pressure, that's only going to make someone feel a lot more uncomfortable. In fact, I had that experience when I lived in San Antonio, Texas. There's this church called Cornerstone. And I went there just one time. And when I went to Cornerstone, they had this very big, elaborate thing. It was like going to a rock concert almost. And I'll never forget being literally cornered by 4 or 5 other people that were my age at the time. I was in the youth group of a separate church at that time, but being cornered and just being like, do you believe this? Do you believe that? Why don't you join our church? Why don't you come to this? Why don't you come to that? And it just felt so culty, and it felt so uncomfortable, and it felt so like, I was like, what the hell is going on here? What are y'all talking about? What is going on? Like, they're trying to kind of, lead you in with all this cool, like, oh yeah, it's just like a concert. Come on, and then, uh, try to like convince you to come join us now. And I'm like, shit, y'all, like, chill out, chill out. In Houston, yeah. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. Yeah, John Hagee, man, that's an interesting dude. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this live stream. It was very chill, very nice. Y'all were very kind, and it's very nice to engage with all of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you would like to, join a membership if you would like to. Again, I'm not going to push any of that on you guys. Y'all have freedom of choice, freedom of will. If we vibed, fantastic. If I'm not for you, I'm not for you. There are plenty of other people that are live streaming, really talented influencers, people that are real professionals that are fantastic. There's a live streamer that I am a really huge fan of. I look up to her. She is fantastic. Her name is Alexis on YouTube. It's spelled AWWLEXIS. She is fantastic. Now, her content is mainly directed for women, but I will tell you, gentlemen, you can glean a lot of wonderful and incredible information from her. So don't let her brand, The Feminine Glow, set you back. Okay, you can learn so much from her. She's amazing. She's incredible. She has a much bigger following than I do, and she has taught me so much, and she's been so helpful in my growth journey, my inner work journey. I get emotional just talking about her because she has helped me so much. Um, So yeah, outside of that, thank you for joining. So, but yeah, but thank you. Yes, and I just believe in being authentic. I believe in being real. Use what you have. Just be yourself. You know, if people don't like you, it's okay, right? I'm not for everybody. All of us are not for everybody, right? And I just want to build a community. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate y'all. And yes, I will be live tomorrow. I don't know what time. My appointment is, I believe, at 10:15 Central Standard Time. So maybe around the same time, maybe around 2:35 Central Standard Time. Don't hold me to that though, because anybody that has followed my channel for a while knows that I'm terrible at scheduling and terrible at sticking to like the same time. So, but thank you so much. Tonight, I am going to relax and chill with my friends and play some Dungeons and Dragons. So, looking forward to that. Staying not distracted, but staying engaged with my friends and not focusing on what the results are going to be tomorrow and not stressing. So again, when you can engage socially, so many scam calls. When you can be mindful, when you can stay engaged with people, when you can create a social community, when you can have a network of people that you can rely on, whether it's people that you talk to every single day, people that you know from real life, or people that you just know from online, and just staying connected to others. It's going to be so helpful for you. Okay, so whatever that looks like for you, I hope that you find that. All right, so thank you so much again. Sending y'all love and light, and I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow or at some point in time. Go back and look at my videos if y'all need any help with yoga or um, different. I think I have kettlebell videos. I have mixed modalities. So there's yoga, Pilates, a little bit of Tracy Anderson stuff in there. I have other live streams. I have other stuff. But like I said, with some of the old content, a lot of it is authentic to me in the sense that it is free flow. So none of it is like super pre-planned. But as far as looking a certain way, having a certain aesthetic, when I was very thin, it was not doing it the healthy way. So just giving you that caveat. So, all right, guys, y'all take care. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next time.